This video will demonstrate how to assemble the 3802-28-2T model. These are some of the tools that you may need: a Phillips screwdriver, some wire strippers, pliers, the product will come in more than one box. The second box will have the crystal. The first box will have several layers. The top layer would be the primary or middle ring of the chandelier, and underneath it the other hardware necessary to assemble the body of the chandelier. The two longest pipes for the central axis of the chandelier can be removed from the respective packaging. The shorter of the two would be the first tube to go above the primary ring. Simply funnel the wiring through that tube and connect the tube to the threaded pipe underneath it there, twisting it around, and then there's a side screw that you could lock or anchor that connection using the Phillips screwdriver. The next tier of the chandelier will be that level as you see there, with the electrical wiring attached to it. Funnel the primary wire through the central part of that piece of the chandelier and twist it around the threaded pipe that can be seen there on the video. You could rotate it around as such. And then you need to lock the side screws to anchor that connection. Next, we're going to funnel both sets of wires through the longer cylinder. You'll need to remove the top loop that's attached to the long cylinder, which will make it easier to funnel the wires through that part of the chandelier. Again, that pipe twists onto the central part of the body. Use the Phillips screwdriver to lock the screws on the side of it to secure that connection. You could raise up the light sockets now so that the light distributes evenly across the chandelier. Join the wires again and put it through the hole in the middle of the top tier of the chandelier. Next, the top loop. We'll need to get the wires threaded through it, and it connects on the top of the cylinder underneath. Twisting it around. Good technique is to put the screwdriver through the loop and tighten it that way, and then tighten the side screws. Next, we're going to hang the chandelier body. You can get the chain and ceiling canopy. The video will not address the hard wiring of the chandelier. However, at this point you can do that. We would recommend that you test the light sockets at this point to see that all of the electrification is sound. The bottom of the chandelier will have this shorter threaded pipe with the washer at the bottom and no washer at the top. Like above, it threads into the body and has locking screws, as you can see there. Next, the bottom ring has 2 rows of holes. The top row has the most holes and the less amount of holes facing the bottom part of it. And then the last small cylinder with the bulbish at the base twists into the cylinder above. Again, tightening the side screws to lock that connection. And that would be the extent of assembling the body of the chandelier. Next, we're going to show how to attach the crystal strands and parts to finish the dressing of the chandelier. Top to bottom, letter A, you have the smallest crystal pieces at the top, graduating to the largest pieces at the base. They go on the inner ring at the top to the inner ring at the bottom. Here we're showing 2 strands right next to one another, repeating the steps, if you will. There's a close-up of the bottom connection showing the inner ring and the top. Letter B goes from the next tier to the primary circle. Again, the smallest crystal on the top to the largest pieces at the base. Connected the inner ring to the inner ring underneath. Again, we're showing 2 strands being attached there. Letter C goes from the primary ring to the ring underneath. Note that the reversal of the graduated strands, we have the largest at the top now to the smallest at the base. And it goes, of course, to the top row of that ring. Letter D would be the lowest strand. Again, the largest piece on top to the smallest crystal pieces at the base. At this tier, we recommend to remove the base bulbish so as to make the connection to the holes of the smallest saucer easier. And that's simply removing the base finial that screws on and carefully removing the glass or crystal saucer. As you can see, it allows for more movement to attach the crystal strands to the base. After you attach all the strands, you could reposition the bulbish with the base finial. The crystal sphere goes through the finial hole there and loops on and closes. The last crystal pieces, letter E, which would be the pair of crystal squares, go to each tier It goes on the outside ring, as you can see there. Please contact us if you have additional questions. Here's a photo again of the finished product. We hope you enjoy the light.